बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानपुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Good afternoon, friends. A very warm welcome to our business opportunity over chai. And this special edition business opportunity over chai will help you to understand the greatest business opportunities that we franchise India specially brings for you. Business opportunity over chai presented by management team of Franchise India, Mr. Gaurav Maria, Chairman at Franchise India Group, and Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, MD at Franchise India Brands Limited. Every day, 12 o'clock, we launch a new brand to explore new business opportunities. So today we have invited a leading manufacturer and exporter and retailer of electric two-wheelers in India, Odysse Electrics. The future of electric mobility in India is here. Odyssey offers you the best design exclusive e-scooters and e-bike, that is, Hawk Racers and e-vehicles. The brand team of experts has a wealth of experience in engineering, design, and production, and they work tirelessly to develop cutting-edge technology that meets the needs of our customers. To know more about this business opportunity, we have invited the team of Odyssey Electronics. Mr. Neyman. Neyman is the founder of this brand. So, Neyman over to you. How you started this brand and what is your mission and vision? We would like to know about this. Over to you.
Hi, good afternoon, Arshika, and good afternoon, all the friends who are with us today. So basically, Odyssey, we started in 2018. So we started doing R&D. We have multiple lines of business which are aligned to automobiles. So when in 2017-18, we saw there is a shift that is happening towards EV. So we saw that EV is the future where we can save a lot of pollution because air pollution was increasing. There is a lot of cost saving in terms of total cost of ownership as well as running, daily operational cost also to run an automobile. So that's where in 2018 we started doing R&D on electric two-wheelers because two-wheeler has the largest base in automobiles in India. And today more than 20 lakh two-wheelers are sold every year in India. So we saw that as a great opportunity which we could be explored. And EV was the latest thing that was happening. So in 2018, we started doing R&D on the products. We started designing the products. And March 2020 is when we launched our company, Odyssey Electric Vehicles. So we started with 3 high-speed scooters and the India's first electric sports bike. We were the one to launch in India electric sports bike. So that's where our journey started. But then there was COVID, and so practically our operations have started from September 2020. We are about 3 years in the industry, and we have been growing very well. So we aim to provide, you know, we aim to transfer the entire the way the Indian public are traveling to reduce pollution and to create a name for ourselves in the electric two-wheeler industry. So that is how we have started our journey. And today we are proud to say we have grown very well. We have 68 plus dealerships that are operational, and we are adding new every month, 3 to 4 new dealerships every month. Uh, so can I just give a quick presentation on the company?
Sure, you can.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. Uh, so Odyssey electric vehicle. So we are a company which is based out of Gujarat with an experience in green tech. As I said, we had other lines of business which were automobile related. So we have two manufacturing facilities in India. We are about, which is one in Gujarat and another one is in Mumbai. We are today 50 to 60% localized in supply chain. And by 2023, we aim to be 100% localization as we are slowly replacing all our imported parts by the Indian counterparts. So we have our facility, the major facility in Ahmedabad, which is spread across about 2 acres. Uh, our production capacity today is 2,500 units per month per shift. So if there is an additional demand, we can always add one more shift and double our production. As I already mentioned, we have 68 plus dealerships across India. We were the India's first on-sale sports bike electric bike maker. Now, when we talk about the EV industry, what are the major challenges that we see in the EV industry? So when we started this business, we thought that, okay, there are some players in the market, but what are the challenges? Where do we make our way in this industry and solve a problem of the customers? So the major challenges that we saw in the EV industries were the products are very overpriced. Today, if you see all major brand products are 1,30,000, 1,40,000 plus at showroom prices. The product options are very limited. If somebody is selling low speed scooters, they don't have high speed scooters. If some company is selling high speed scooters, they don't have low speed scooters or bike. If there is a company selling only electric bike, they don't have scooters. So for a, as a investor or as a dealer, you may have to sell only one segment of an electric two-wheeler. And as we all know, India has a diverse choices and everyone has a different need. And if we cannot cater to 60% or 70% of the audience, we are losing a big market share. So that is where we saw there was a major challenge in the EV industry. It was all it was all scattered. No, there was no one company giving you a complete solution for electric two-wheelers. And the major problem in the EV industry was poor after sales service. These were the three major pain points that we saw that were prevailing in the EV industry. Now, what are the solving pillars to those problems? One, we had to make a product which is very cost effective without compromising on the quality. The second was we need to provide customers an electric vehicle as per the user requisite, because we are at a very nascent stage. If we start commanding that this is our product, kharidna hai kharido, nahi kharidna hai mat kharido, that is not how it would work. So we had to design the product which were as per the customer's requirement. So that was the another solving pillar that we saw. Third was quality driven product, which I already mentioned that the product quality has to be on par with the traditional petrol vehicles. And fourth was to provide them quick after sales service and quick resolution in terms of any of their complaints or their queries. So this were the four solving pillars that we thought that this will be the pillars on which we will launch our product and we will take forward our brand. So these are four pillars on which Odyssey stands. Now, why Odyssey? Why not any other brand? So our product are aesthetically well designed. We have electric scooters and bikes. Then all our product comes with waterproof motor and they are IoT enabled. So at a click of a button on your mobile app, you can track every detail of your vehicle along with geofencing, low battery alerts, the money that you have saved by traveling riding an EV compared to an petrol, the amount of carbon emission that you have saved. So it gives you a lot of insights about the vehicle as well as about the contribution that you have done towards pollution as well. Third, we have an expansive range of products that I will show you in detail later. Uh, all our scooters are equipped with portable batteries, which are so portable battery means you can remove the battery and charge at the ease of your home, the way you charge your mobile phone on a normal 5 or 15 ampere socket, which are there at every household or on every shop or every nook and corner. You will find that socket. So that is one of the another USP that we have. And we have scooters which are equipped up to 170 kilometer per charge. So our scooters range from 70 kilometers to 170 kilometers. So customer has a wide range to select from to choose how many kilometer range he wants the vehicle to drive, and accordingly he can spend the money as per his requisite. If he has a daily requirement of 30 kilometers, so probably a 60-70 kilometer per charge scooters is good enough for him. So why should he spend something which has 170 kilometer per charge? That means his total the earlier investment is much higher than what he could have done and saved some money. So that makes their decision much more quicker and easier. Now, as I said, this is the product catalog of Odysse EV. So we have two high-speed scooters, which are Hawk Light and Hawk Plus, and Racer Light and Racer Plus that we can see here. The only difference between Light, Plus, or normal or the other variant in a particular model is the battery capacity. As I said, if a customer has a requirement for 70 kilometers, he would choose an Hawk Light. And if he wants 170 kilometer, he can choose Hawk Plus. So he pays for what he wants, and not that we have this model, you have to buy this if you want to buy this model. That's not how. So we provide a much better option to the consumer to select his product. So we have two high-speed scooters, which are Hawk Plus, Hawk Light, and Racer Light, Racer Plus. Then we have two low-speed scooters. Low-speed scooters means the scooters which don't require registration, license, and insurance. It is approved by the government of India to sell and drive, but there are certain conditions based on which you don't, as a rider, you don't need to do registration, don't need insurance, and not even license. So V2 and V2 Plus is one model, and E2 Go that we see here has three variants in it, and that is the another low speed scooter that we have. Now we also have a scooter dedicated for B2B segment. So the Trot is the model for that. So it can carry up to 250 kgs of load. So it is generally used by industries, by kirana shops, by people who have to transport like water bottles, newspaper, milk guy. Those all people use this vehicle Trot, which is targeted to B2B. And we also have electric bike. Now in electric bike, as I already said, the Evokes that we see here was the India's first electric sports bike on sale. And we have recently added one more product, which is called Vader, which is for a daily commute. If you see, this is like a daily commute bike. And this segment was pretty much, there was a vacuum in this segment, which we have recently filled. And the demand and the target audience is wide is for this. Harshika, can you just play the video for Vader just to give a more insight to our investors about this new product that is launched?
Sure.
Thank you. Right. So this was about Vader. Now in Vader, we are again India's first electric vehicle company which has given a 7-inch Android display in a bike, and it is also equipped with Google Map navigation, call notification, music integration, amongst other features. This vehicle comes with AIS 156 approved battery, which is the safest standard for the batteries in India. So this batteries you can practically call like fireproof batteries. Uh, so these are the standard laid down by the government to ensure that none of the batteries in electric vehicles ever face such an issue. So our products are now all equipped with those batteries. So to just to show that our products are very safe and reliable. And we also have a high-speed electric scooter, which is a new scooter that is under development, and we plan to launch it by Q4 of this year. Now, future of electric mobility in India, like Odysse EV offers the best design and exclusive scooters. Now, what makes our scooters top notch and with the best features are it has disc brake, it comes with reverse gear system as well, keyless entry, it has music system, Bluetooth connectivity, different drive modes, start stop button to start a scooter, anti-theft lock, phone charging, amongst other features. Now, this is just a product snapshot because there the products were not very visible. So here you can see our different products, and they are very well aesthetically designed. Now, this is how the ODC outlets are traditionally there. So these are the renderings of our outlet. This is the front outside look of the outlet of ODC. This is the top view where we have a reception, two discussion tables, staff area, the director's cabin, and where we can place 6 to 7 bikes in it, scooters and bikes. This is the right view of how the showroom has to be, where there are the posters are there. There is a place for helmet along with just beside the discussion table, and this is the left side view. Now, what is the value proposition for the end customer? Why will he choose Odyssey over others? So the current EV player has only one category of electric two-wheeler to offer. As I already mentioned, either they are focused on low-speed scooters or high-speed or bikes. There is barely any company which has the complete range of electric two-wheelers to offer to the customer. Then most of the companies have lack of finance options for the retail users. They don't have tie-up for finance with financial institutions to for the end user to avail loan facility or low cost EMI or even zero cost EMI for that matter. Sorry. Then they don't have any sophisticated software for the dealership to manage their orders and also the customers. Then there are insurance claims issue because they are not onboarded. There are many EV players which are not onboarded on the insurance company's panel so that their product can be registered, can claim the insurance from them. Then there are no major marketing activities being done by most of the EV players, barring a few top 5, 6. There are no other companies doing any major marketing activity in the EV space. There are service related issues with the other OEM, and the other OEMs don't provide technical training to the dealership or the investor staff so that they can resolve the problem of the end user at their end itself and provide a better customer experience. So what makes Odyssey EV different from them? So we are a one-stop solution for all electric two-wheeler needs. Uh, then we have tie-up with many banks and NBFC, and to name a few, we have tie-up with Kotak Bank, ICICI Bank, HDB Finance, Shriram Finance, Mannapuram, Jest Money, Aeon Finance, Wheels EMI, Loan Tap, then Karur Vyasa Bank. So we are empaneled on major banks and NBFCs. Then we have a dealer management system that is being implemented so that the dealer can manage his inventory with the OEM, his own inventory, and also there is a service support where he can have all the details about the customer to whom he has sold, or pitch the product, which will give him a complete insight of what is happening. So as an investor, if you are not there 24/7, even at the outlet, you using the DMS, you can find all the data about what is happening in the outlet. Fourth, Odyssey product is on board on all major insurance company. You name the company and our products are approved by them, and we are on board their product list. Then we do regular marketing and PR activities to ensure that dealerships, there is a lot of lead generation that is done. There is a lot of social media marketing that we focus on, and a lot of PR activities as well, so that the Odyssey is always in the news, and any end user keeps reading about Odyssey and is aware about it, and that helps the conversion ratio to increase a lot. Then we are a strong after sales support. We have a dedicated after sales team which provides support to the dealers, and the staff at every dealership are also technically trained. So we invite all our dealership to send their technical team at our factory where we train them, we take care of them, and we ensure that all the dealerships are very well equipped to handle any technical issues that they may face in the future. So that is what makes us different from the other EV player. Now, as I already said, now coming to the industry, what is the potential in the industry? Why two-wheelers? Now in 2019, every year 21 lakh units were sold, and we expect by 2025 every year 26 lakhs of total two-wheelers will be sold. Now this is just the total industry for two-wheeler, which is 26 lakhs. But what we have been seeing is year on year there is a huge jump in the market share that EV is taking from the traditional petrol vehicles. Like in 2021, the market penetration of EV versus the traditional petrol two-wheelers was about 3%, 2 to 3%, which by 2022 and or 2023, what we can say, has increased to 15%. So in about 2 years, the market share has increased from 2 to 15. There has been a 7x growth in the overall electric two-wheeler space. And by 2025, we expect about 4.5 to 5 million electric two-wheelers, and the total industry growth will be about 30% penetration in next 5 to 7 years. Two-wheelers makes up to 81% of the vehicles on Indian roads. As I said, that why we choose two-wheeler over four-wheeler? Because two-wheeler has a maximum market share in India in terms of sales of automobiles. Second, two-wheelers, we don't need any special charging infrastructure. As I said, we have portable batteries. You can remove the batteries, charge at your home. So the entire charging infrastructure requirement that is there for four-wheelers is not required for two-wheelers, and that is why the penetration can be much more faster and is much more easier to convince the customer. Now, India's e-scooter penetration for different segment is different. So overall, we see by 2030, this is KPMG report, that in B2B, it will be 60 to 80% penetrated. In the consumer market, about 70% scooters will be electric by 2030. And in motorcycle, the penetration is less, about 20 to 30%. So overall, we expect about 40% plus to be electric by 2030. Now, coming to revenues, what are the revenue stream for any investor who would invest in the Odyssey EV franchisee? So now there are four main product, revenue stream. One is definitely the product sales that is there, where our dealers get a handsome margin on whatever product they sell. Second is sales of spare part and service, which is also one of the very important verticals and has a great amount of margin on that. Third is IoT app subscription. As I said, our EVs are connected, and every user can use. There is an app through which it is integrated. So that comes with 1 year of free subscription. Post 1 year, all the users who want to continue with the service has to buy a subscription, and our dealerships also earn some money out of it when a user subscribes for that. And fourth is extended warranty sale. So we have a standard warranty of 3 years or 1 year on certain components, and then we have an option for the end users to use to opt for extended warranty. So when a dealership sells the extended warranty to the end user, there also they earn some margin from that. So there are four different revenue streams through which a dealership earns. Now we have seen the EV industry growing 7x in past 2 years. Now, but what are the growth drivers? One is the total cost of ownership for EV as compared to ICE. ICE means normal petrol vehicles. When we say total cost of ownership, it is the cost of owning the vehicle plus cost of running the vehicle. So the total cost of ownership for an EV is way less than a petrol vehicle. The product appeal and diversity. Now, when we look at the EV two-wheelers, they are far more superior in terms of features as compared to a traditional petrol vehicles. Like you have seen so many companies giving Android display, touchscreen, Google Map navigation, call connectivity, Bluetooth music, then Bluetooth connectivity, over-the-air updates. Now, all these features, hill road support, all these features are not available in traditional petrol vehicle. So the EV as an EV two-wheelers are far more the products are far more appealing and diverse from the traditional petrol vehicles. Then the income level in tier 1 and tier 2, the disposable income is increasing. That is what the survey says, that the people are spending more now than what they were doing earlier, and the disposable income is increasing in tier 1 and tier 2 cities. Then electric vehicle sale is rising because the today's consumer is well aware and more conscious about the air pollution, and that is where he's opting an EV versus a petrol vehicle. And there are also government policies and subsidies that is supporting and driving the growth. There is FAME subsidy that is given by the government. Then there are certain states who have waived the complete registration and road tax on EV. So practically the registration is basic RC cost and other costs involved, which is very minuscule. Then there are other states who are also giving further subsidies on top of what central government gives, which makes which makes EVs very economical compared to a petrol vehicle. So different states are contributing at different levels for EV growth. Now this is just a competitive analysis of Odyssey versus the big brands like Ather, Ola, Okinawa, Hero Electric. Now the thing that sets us apart is, one, we have portable batteries which in our scooters, which is there only with Okinawa or Hero Electric, but Ather and Ola don't have that option. That is where the major charging thing comes into play. All our products are IoT enabled, as I said, which is in line with most of the OEMs. Then we have waterproof motor, which are only provided by top-notch OEMs like Ather and Ola, but not by other players, which is a point of differentiation, because our products are much more value for money, giving the features which are provided by most of the top-notch expensive brands. Our product come with the range of 170 kilometers per charge, which is amongst the highest in the EV two-wheelers if we say today. We also have a music system in our product, which is only provided by Ola, and no other player is still providing you that feature. So when we compare our products with the others, we have some OEMs are missing somewhere, but we have products which cover all the features across the board. Now, what is the roadmap? So as I said, since 2019, we are headquartered at Mumbai, and Odyssey EV is dynamizing the electric vehicle space. From 20 to 22, our journey has been that we have set up our first manufacturing unit in Ahmedabad, and we have launched the second manufacturing unit in Mumbai. We introduced 3 EVs in March 2020. As I said, we launched our product in March 2020. So that has been our growth journey till 22. From April 22 to March 23, that is last financial year, we have set up a new manufacturing facility in Hyderabad in April 22. So, but that is a tie-up with someone to produce for us. So we are also eligible for getting government subsidy, which is called FAME 2 subsidy. One of our product is eligible for that. We have 3 new EV models developed, which is low speed delivery scooter and daily use bike that we saw Vader. So this is the our you know growth phase or the journey in past 1 year, and we have accomplished all the goals that we have set. We have planned to cross 80 plus dealership, but since our product the launch got a bit delayed by a month or two, our target we could reach 68 plus dealerships instead of 80. But now we have crossed that number any which ways as on date. What is our plan for the coming year? That is April 23 to March 24. We plan to introduce one more high-speed scooter and advance our existing bikes. Like it is like upgradation of our existing sports bike. We plan to increase the dealership to 200 plus in this financial year. We are also setting up a new state-of-art manufacturing plant in Gujarat to grow our production capacity to 10,000 units per month from 2,500 units per month, which is today. So this is the roadmap that we have planned for this year. Now, who are the minds behind Odyssey EV? It is me. The first one is me, Neyman Vora. I'm the CEO and founder of Odyssey Electric Vehicle. By qualification, I'm a qualified chartered accountant, and I've also done masters in family business administration. I have an 11-year plus experience in manufacturing and distribution of sustainable products. Then we have another director who is Mr. Ronak Sangvi. He looks after the production. He has an experience with stockbroking since 2015, and he is guiding the production for our company. Mr. Virendra Vora is my father, who is the chairman and advisor in the group. So he is the guiding force and mentor for the company. He has 30 plus years of experience in different industry like alternate fuel, construction, instrumentation, then home automation. And by qualification, he is also a qualified chartered accountant. Now, what are the achievements as an electric vehicle or Odyssey as a brand that we have received? As I mentioned, we launched India's first electric motorcycle, Evox. We were awarded the most promising brand 2021 by the Economic Times, which is one of the most reputed company in India. Then we have introduced new range of electric scooters and bikes, which are much more in terms of models than the other EV players. We launched recently, as I spoke about Vader, India's first electric bike with 7-inch Android display and Google Map navigation. There is no other electric bike which offers you those features. Now coming to market strategy, how do we market our product? First, it is digital marketing through Facebook, Instagram, then YouTube. So we do a lot of lead generation and branding through digital marketing. Then we also do media marketing, that is YouTube ads, influencer marketing, radio advertisements. Then we also have strategic tie-ups. When we say tie-ups with industrial network, it is like cross-selling. So we have tie-up with banks and insurance companies and other this financial partner who give us leads. In turn, we get financing done through them. So it is like a cross-selling. We sell their, we get financing done through them, and they get customers for us, which is a very good thing, we believe. Then we also do some of newspaper advertisement. There are a lot of PR activities that happen in newspaper. Now government. What is government doing? So there is a National Electric Mobility Mission Plan 2020, which is up to 2025, which is helping. Then there is a FAME scheme under which government is providing subsidy. Then government has launched before a couple of years Go Electric campaign to increase awareness amongst consumer about electric vehicles. So the government is working at different level on different platforms. Now just the financial model, a basic snapshot. For an Odyssey EV dealership investment, you need 800 square feet of showroom area and 300 square feet of service station. The total investment comes to about 41.50 lakhs. This includes stock that you take for the first time, which is one of the major costs. Then there is franchisee fee, working capital and also furnishing expenses included in that. So furnishing expense that we calculate is always on the higher side, considering it would be a raw space. But if you already have a space which is, well furnished, or tiling, flooring, painting, everything is done, then probably the investment will be much more lower than what we have shown here. We take 3 lakh rupees of refundable security deposit, which gets refunded at the end of the agreement, or depending when there is a closure. We take rupees 4 lakh as one-time franchisee fees. We have 5 years agreement terms with our investors or dealers. And the best part being, whatever investment you are doing, the payback period for that is 1 year, 3 months, which is a very short period to get back the money that you have invested, and which is very lucrative. As we are seeing the EV market growing, the number of two-wheelers in India are growing one. And out of that expansion, the EV market share is growing tremendously. So what happens is, today, if the sale is 1 lakh units or 2 lakh units per month, considering registered and unregistered product, if 2 lakh units are being sold per month, we expect that in 3 years down the line, this market share itself will increase from 15% that it is today to 30-35%. So the shift is going to be huge. Market share is going to increase, and the total two-wheelers are also going to increase. So we are always going to have a bigger chunk of market share as an electric two-wheeler manufacturer in India. The next 5 to 7 years, we don't see any downturn coming in the EV industry, at least. So thank you, Harshika. Thank you, Franchise India. That's it from my side in terms of the Odysse and the company.
Thank you so much, Neminji, for putting this wonderful presentation for all our viewers. And I was hearing it was very, very elaborative. You talked about the industry at large, the competition, and also your current capabilities to address the increasing demand that we see in the industry. I'll quickly recap the opportunity for the interest of everybody who's listening both live and on the webinar. And friends, my request is also that any questions that you have on the business model, please use the Q&A box. We'll be happy to address these for you. And also, I will request anybody who wants to come for a one-to-one meeting or a discussion can do that. We might not be able to do a very extensive discussion in the next 15-20 odd minutes that we have at hand, but we'll be happy to take that offline with anybody who's keen to explore and discuss that in detail. So just giving a perspective on the entire discussion, recap. The business model. The company Odysse Electric is a part of Vora Group of companies, and they have very lined of businesses, and their primary focus, as Neminji also mentioned, has been automobile in the last many years. And apart from that, they have been in the business of construction and also home automation, and they have been in the green space for a very, very long period of time, and that is what prompted them to diversify into electric vehicle. Now, looking at the industry and looking at, I would say, even the regulations by the government and the target which the government has set to have at least 30% of the country's fleet of vehicles in the next 7 odd years to be electric vehicles. We see there's a big pace of adoption which is happening in states and cities across India. Moreover, what we are seeing today and versus maybe 2 years back, when electric vehicle industry had seen or witnessing a lot of smaller players also coming in, today we are witnessing a big consolidation which is happening, and consolidation will be driven by regulations for good, which I'm kind of reiterating, and which will make it difficult, I would say, mostly for all smaller players to compete with the bigger or large players in the industry. And also the startup entry barrier has also significantly increased because of the regulations. Startups will have to go, which is tough time, entering the market. And only players which have some kind of substantial presence, the right go-to-market strategy, back-end integration, will stand a fair chance to expand and penetrate in the industry with right economies of scale. Now, as far as Odysse is concerned, I was hearing Neminji talk about their current presence and also their production capacity, which I feel is good, considering the market. with 68 odd dealers. They've already created a big clusters in regions like, I would say, MP, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, AP, and even Karnataka. And these are some of the states where the cluster is big. They have a very good capacity, which is 2,500 unit per month. And he mentioned per shift, which can also be increased by adding more shifts as the demand increases. And this is a very good production capacity, and volume is a very, very important criteria to bring economies of scale. And they work on a triple S model, unlike many other smaller players who perhaps don't even have economies of scale, but they have integrated sales. When I say triple S model, it works on sales, it works on service, and it works on spare part. So which means a partner or dealer would have a revenue stream which will come from sales, service, as well as spares. And to make it easy for consumers also to adopt, and they have a financing option. And I heard from zero interest to maybe a smaller interest component. The end consumer can take financing option also from the company. So I'll start with some questions, Neminji. And so, friends, we require broadly an investment of 40 odd lakhs, and larger part of this investment is your working capital itself, which is the inventory of the vehicle, which I'm assuming is almost about 50% of that. And the area requirement is split into two, which is 800 plus 300 square feet of space. And this 300 square feet of space not necessarily be in a retail space, because comparatively your retail spaces are expensive. So this service space can be somewhere close by. So overall 40 lakhs is the outlay that we see in the investment. So I'll start by taking my very first question, Neminji, which you did mention about also, the competition in the market and how you have an edge over the competition. And since we're looking at maybe creating a deeper cluster in markets where we already are present, and also looking at going into markets where we currently might have a smaller or relatively, no presence, what would be your go-to market for locations where we don't have current presence in? And especially I'm talking about, the support and marketing specifically for a new partner who joins hands with you in a new territory.
So what we do is, as soon as we get any dealership in particular territory, there are steps that are followed. One, we support them in terms of the location. So to select the right location, because what happens with the automobiles is it is very important to be at the right location, because customers' perception is that if you want to buy an automobile, let's go to this area, here you will find it. That's how usually the automobile industry has been functioning. So we help our dealerships select the right location. We help them design the outlet in a particular way, so that there is a dealer, any customer coming in, there is a standardization that he sees. And in terms of support, we also train their staff. Once the dealership is finalized, we train their staff to ensure they are technically very sound. We also do sales training for them to help them explain it to the end user. What are the points? What are the plus points of our products? What are the USPs? How do we sell? So we do a lot of sales, technical, all the training to ensure that our dealerships are fully equipped to cater to the end users and they don't face any issues. On top of that, just before the launch, during the launch, and post the launch, a lot of advertisement is done by us in those locations to ensure that there is a buzz that is created around the dealership in the city where it is opening, and the customer walk-ins are huge, because in the initial months you have to get a lot of customers to our dealership, and over the period what happens is there is a lot of reference and everything that is generated, and then the churning keeps on happening from one to the other through mouth publicity. But in the initial days, we do a lot of marketing for them at our cost to ensure that the dealership gets a good traction at the city wherever they are opening the outlet.
Helpful, Neminji. And I'll take my second set of questions more around the unit economics in the business. And I was reading some questions which have also come from a lot of our viewers on the same. And I'll start with talking first and foremost on the investment side. So if you look at the 40 lakhs capex to be deployed initially, what component goes where, which means that how much is the inventory working capital which is required? What is my per square feet interior cost that we have taken? So broadly, if you can touch upon that, Neminji, would be very, very helpful.
Sure. So basically, out of the total investment that we have considered of about 40 lakhs, the major part of the investment goes into stock, which is about 15 lakhs. So that is one of the major thing that goes. Here in this 40 lakhs, we have also considered the lease deposit that that our investors will pay to take a place on rent, which is about 4 lakh rupees that we have considered. So if a franchisee owner or the investor has already a place, then he also saves on that part of the investment, which is a security deposit. Here we have considered 3 months of working capital in terms of the employment, salary, electricity, rental that he will have to pay apart from the deposit. So, there are many factors that we have considered. And in the store furnishing expense, as of now, we have calculated about 7.5 lakh rupees that will go for an franchisee to be operational. But if depending on from place to place, if the place is already pretty well furnished in terms of flooring, paint, and other things, then probably his expense will be much less than 7.5 lakhs that we have considered. So 40 lakhs is on the higher side that we are projecting, but on reality, depending on one to the other investor, I'm sure the value, the investment can go much lower than this.
Absolutely. So friends, just to simplify that for you, while we have shared a higher side on the investment, because a lot of components which might not be initial investment, which is blocked with the company, has also been considered. If I talk about the investment in terms of the inventory would be 15 odd lakhs. There's a component of franchise fee, which is 4 lakhs, which makes it about 19 odd lakhs, and another 7.5 lakhs, which has been considered for the interior. So this comes to almost about 26 odd lakhs, which is the initial investment. Working capital for day-to-day expenses, salary, rental is something that you would obviously retain with yourself. So 26 is a ballpark investment outside the security deposit that you give for the property, depending on where you're opening. And MNG, my second set of subset would be around unit economics. When we talk about inventory, typically in a business like this, if you look at the industry at large, and also based on the 68 dealerships that we currently are running, what is the average inventory turn annually that we consider? And with the 15 lakhs, the investment towards inventory, what is a combination SKUs in terms of vehicles that we place at the outlet?
So basically, the ticket size of the product starts from 60,000 rupees, and it goes all the way up to 1,70,000 as well. As we have so many variety, so many different models and SKUs in that in terms of variants. So on an average, what we consider in 15 lakhs, our dealership franchisee partner will be able to have about 20 units of stock at his place.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is once that is done, then they can reorder as per in the lots of 20s. So the average ticket size being 60,000 to 170, we calculated on an average depending on the sales mix that we have seen, and the learnings that we have over the period. It is good enough for 20 vehicles. And in terms of margins, if we talk, different models have different margins, but it ranges somewhere between 11% to 18%, depending on the product. Highest being 18 and lowest being 11. But these are just the margin that we show to our dealerships on ex-showroom price. But actually, in reality, what our dealerships earn are much more than that, because they earn from accessories sale. Because most of the scooters buyer do purchase accessory, and there is about a 40 to 50% margin that they earn on selling accessory. Then they also earn kickbacks from insurance. Mm-hmm. Then they also earn from registration charges, because registration charges are always declared a bit on the higher side, considering variation. So they earn money from there. So on an average, if I talk, the minimum margin overall comes to about 15% being the lowest, and the highest can go up to 20 to 23% on the sale.
Okay, that's helpful. Now, staying on the margins itself, if you can perhaps give an example in terms of, average sale and number of vehicles, typically, what dealership can do. What are the expenses that we foresee? Typical rental in a business like this, the kind of staff that is required, and maybe an example of what you're doing with these dealerships that are currently existing, and maybe an average number that we can talk about.
So can I just project my screen?
Yes, please.
Then it looks better. So is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
So typically in terms of the HR cost, what we see is you need one sales manager, one sales executive. When we start in the year one, we need one sales manager, one sales executive, one technician, and one helper, one receptionist. So this is the major 5 people that you need apart from the franchisee owner himself, if he is there. So the HR cost and what we consider, based on the increment and everything, the annual HR cost comes to about 11 lakh, which is about 92,000 per month, which keeps on increasing. So this is the amount of the HR cost that goes into it. And when we talk about the revenues, see, this is what I was talking about. So average ticket size is in terms of sales. The cost to dealership is 60, that is where it starts, but the selling price comes to about 75. So this is the sales mix that we see across our different price point categories. For 75,000 unit price product, the sales mix is about 25% of the total sales. And here the margins are 18%, as I mentioned. So depending on the different price points, the product sales mix are different and the margins are different. But typically, in terms of the revenue, what you were asking me, so we have considered a very conservative figure, honestly, to start, so that whatever we commit is fulfilled. And if we overperform, it is always better than underperforming. So here we have made a very conservative figure, that number of scooters sold per month. This is not per day. This is per month. Per day is 0.7. These figures are per month. So we are considering that in the first month, our dealership may only sell 11 scooters because they are very new to the market. People will come, they will try and understand the product. They will go check online, check with other people in some place, evaluate, compare with other products, and then make a conscious decision. So what happens is first month is more about awareness rather than conversion, but actual conversion starts happening from third, fourth month, because then that is when the customer, there is a bit of mouth publicity already happening, and the customer starts making decision rather than the first month. So first month we have considered sale of only 11 units. The second month we increase it to 13, 17, 21 going forward. And the maximum by the first year end, we think that any dealership will be able to at least sell 25 units per month, because they will have their own sets of learning, what models are working in which market. Based on that, they will have a better insight and a lot of referrals as well. So the typical sales from first month to end of the year is 11 to 25 unit or 25 units per month, 11 units. And the total revenue is about 11.5 lakhs and goes all the way up to 28 lakhs per month. So when we say a total yearly revenue will be about 2.66 crore, that is the sales that we are expecting in first year from the franchisee. And in terms of profit, if we talk about, this is based on the sales projection that we have. The total revenue, as I mentioned, in the first year is about 2.66 crore, but vis-a-vis the cost is about 2.28 crore, and we are expecting a gross income of about 38 to 39 lakhs in the first year, which gets double by the second year and keeps on growing as the dealer will be much more well known in his territory, and the market share is increasing, EV requirements are increasing. So the gross income keeps on growing. Now, considering all the expenses, what we see is earning in the first year is about 5 lakhs, but immediately when we see the second year, because the initial costs are not involved, it becomes 35 lakhs, and then 67 lakhs, then 90 lakhs, and by the end of fifth year, we expect him to earn at least 1.2 crore per year. So considering the inventory costs, the payback is about 1 year and 9 months. And if we calculate inventory as your rotational expense, it is not a money that is actually your investment. It is like liquid cash. So you can always sell and get that money out of it. So your actual investment gets recovered in 1 year, 3 months, and the total ROI by the end of 5th year, cumulative ROI comes to about 2060% in next 5 years.
Helpful. And Neminji, now coming on the margins at the service level, because I understand that there is some warranty also that we are providing to the end consumer.
Correct.
So what are the typical margins which a partner would have at the service level?
So what happens with the service level within the warranty? Definitely the parts, all the costs are covered by the company. But when there are any incident, because a scooter may have an accident, scratches, repainting, some usual wear and tear parts that comes to the dealerships for servicing. So there the margins to the dealerships are somewhere in the range of 25 to 35%.
Mhm.
That's the margin they get on parts. On top of that, then there are labor charges as well. So the dealership on an average will have about 50% plus of the revenue of the total billables that they do to the customer.
All right. Okay, I'll quickly see some questions and I'll pick the ones which have not been taken up. So we have Mr. Deepak Kumar. Perhaps he looks like coming from a tier 2 or a tier 3 city. And his question is on the investment and if there would be any change in the investment based on the tier 1 is opening.
So basically, tier 2, tier 3 cities definitely will have a lower investment because the rentals will be much lower compared to tier 1. The deposits will be much less. If they have their own space, definitely it will be out. Secondly, what happens in tier 2, tier 3, the product mix changes compared to tier 1. So that is where also they save a bit on the investment. So definitely the as we go to tier 2 or tier 3, the investments instead of 40 lakhs or 28 lakhs, as you were explaining, initial investment itself may go down to 25, and out of the total chunk of 40, including everything, it may come down to about 35 lakhs rupees, I believe so.
And also question from Mr. Mahesh Verma. He's asking, how about if any model is not sold, say in a 3 months or a extended period of time? Is there a proposition to do any kind of stock correction on the models taken by dealer?
So what we do is we help, as we said, we have a dealer management system in place, and we can track what stock is lying at which dealership at large for a long time. So what we can do is we help them cross sale, that if there is another dealership in the same territory requiring the same model, then we inform them that you can order whatever material you like from us, and you send that model to the other dealership, because there is a requirement for this particular model and color at that. So what happens is his stocks get churned around, his dead stock gets sold off, and he can order whatever new stock which he thinks is selling well in his territory. That is one way. In another way, what we support to our dealership is if a dealership has a particular model in blue color and there's a lot of demand in his territory for black color and there is no demand for blue color, we support them in terms of we can exchange the color they from blue to black, so that his inventory gets sold out. So definitely the dealer hand-holding and support is provided to ensure that their stock does not lie around for a longer time.
Great. And also a question I'll take from Mr. Tajinder Singh on the dealership plan for North India.
Okay. So honestly, we have always been focused on South and West India, but now we plan to strengthen our footprints in North and Northeast. That is where Franchisee India is also helping us grow in that territory, mainly Northeast, to penetrate, as you know, those are fresh areas, and definitely there is a lot of scope in Delhi, North, UP. There are so many territories which are doing very good in EVs. So our core focus right now is definitely Northeast, to expand our footprints along with growing our base in South and West. So that is our area of focus, and we'll be investing a lot of money in doing that.
Thank you so much, Neminji. And friends, like I mentioned, we'll be happy to share some of your asked for the financial working. The one that we have already presented to you, we'll be happy to even email for you to go through the same. And anybody who wants to have one-to-one discussion can reach out to us. I've shared a hotline number and an email ID in the chat box. And before we close, Neminji, I'll request if there's a message that you want to give to everybody who's listening to you.
Definitely. See, EV space today is something which is spoken about and is growing. And this is an opportunity for all of you to invest in a growing EV brand, because future is electric mobility, and government has repeatedly said and are moving in that direction to ensure that by 2030 all the petrol vehicles are stopped. So I believe that electric two-wheeler space is going to get hot up a lot. The demand is going to go drastically, and this is your chance and our opportunity to ensure that we are one of the major player and have a major market share in that say. Just to give one example where the government is doing a lot and what is going to happen moving forward is Chandigarh as an UT has decided that they will only register about 2000 petrol vehicles, two-wheeler. Post that, no petrol two-wheeler will be registered, and mandatory anybody who wants to buy a two-wheeler will have to buy an EV. So, and that is getting exhausted by July, which is next month. So post July till the next financial year, if anybody wants to buy a two-wheeler, it has to be electric. That is what it has been done by one. And I believe this is just an example of how future governments are going to do. And the electric two-wheeler is the space to be. And this is a good opportunity for us to grow, as we are at a nascent stage today. Moving forward, probably it will be a lot more cluttered and the opportunity may be less because it will be well established. But today we have an opportunity and we should seize on that.
Definitely, Neminji. And friends, we look forward to receiving your queries. And just to answer, we had Mr. Mukesh Singh from Rajasthan, who is looking also for a master dealership, right? So Mukeshi, we can discuss that offline, because the requirement, the obligations would be very, very different to what we have discussed for unit partner. And obviously, a master would have an obligation to develop the territory and also open up a distribution center to even supply to the units that come under him. So my request would be that we take this offline to understand the location that you're from and the partnership that we can discuss based on your interest. And before I close, I'll request Harshika to kindly take over. Harshika, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am. Thank you so much, Neminji, for this wonderful presentation discussion about the brand Odysse. Friends, for more details about the brand or to connect with Neminji, you can reach us on our hotline number 9717683838. You can also write us on feedback@franchiseindia.in. Today at 4 p.m., we are bringing a great brand, Direct English, a live webinar. Registration link shared over the chat box. You can do your registration directly, or you can reach us on our hotline number 9717683838. Tomorrow, again, we are coming with a great brand. It's a international brands that are looking for expansion in Pan India. So you can reach us on our hotline number for registration. Thank you everyone for joining the webinar.
Thank you, everyone. Good day.
Thank you.